Yo, Bo, welcome to another episode of In the Life of MightyFan. We got a pickup episode here. Um, was able to complete a set that I've wanted to have for quite a long time. So, had the opportunity to do it. Before I say what they are, I do want to point out I know this video is very Pittsburgh Steelers centric, and I'm wearing the Eagles shirt because I'm more partial to, of course, the team that plays on the eastern side of PA, my beloved Birds. But today is also game day for the Eagles. They're playing at Tampa, Monday Night Football. So, of course, I had to represent. But the jerseys in this video will be for the western side of PA's team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I guess if I were to say I have an AFC team, they're my AFC team. Been so for a long time, many, many years, just because, they're in PA on the other side. Some people say the Eagles and Steelers are a bit of a rival. I really don't see it. You play them once every 4 years. I get it. It's interstate. To me, the rival in Pittsburgh's the Penguins. And some of the old heads might say the Pirates, but, it is what it is. To me, the rivals for the Eagles are Dallas, Washington, and the Giants. So, but I've always kind of liked the Steelers. I like the history, obviously, and the fact that they beat Dallas twice in the Super Bowl was also good. So, so I've had these jerseys for a while. They're not Mitchell and Ness. They're basically, the concept is they're basically for autographs. They're just perfect to autograph. They're cheap. They're not made to with all the specifications, right? You're not going to get a Mitchell Ness like the one I have behind me when you order one of these. But they're decent quality, and they make players that Mitchell Ness has either not made or very hard to find. So over the years, I've gotten some of them. I have a white Lynn Swan in this somewhere, but I couldn't. It must be tucked away in one of my bins. But I do have a John Stallworth. And what I like about it is it does have the appropriate, font name on the back, not like single stitched or anything. And these are actually pretty decent quality for what they are. Again, it's not bells and whistles. You're not going to get like an authentic feel like a Mitchell and Ness or a custom or something like that. But these usually run about $30 to $40. And again, the primary reason for them is to get autographed and to, frame them and whatnot. Or you can just wear them. Like I said, if you want a cheaper alternative, you can find a lot of sellers that sell these. All the ones I've gotten over the years have been on eBay. So, it is what it is. So the John Stallworth, Mitchell Ness never made a John Stallworth that I know of, unless there's a sales sample or something. They made Lynn Swan, but they never made a Stallworth. So maybe they will someday. And then this one I got a bit back too. This is a Rocky Blyer. And so the Stallworth I've had the longest. The Rocky Blyer I got in more recent time, and it has more of a felt sleeves, which is cool. The Stallworth is more just like stripes, kind of different fabric, but it's not the felt material, which this is. So this is pretty cool, actually. It does kind of have that cool, football feel to it. Again, no big bells and whistles. And Blyer 20 on the back. Mitchell Ness made a Rocky Blyer jersey, but it's like one of those unicorns. They made a 75 Rocky Blyer with the patch, which is actually technically a 76. This is a Super Bowl jersey, but I've only seen it a handful of times. The Mean Joe, the Bradshaw, the Lambert, the Harris, the Swan, those guys I've seen, Webster. The Blyer I've only seen a couple times. I've never been able to get it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to grab this one. It serves the purpose. I probably will never put the patch on these. Just, keep them as is. Anyhow, I do all that to get to this. So, because I do like the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, of course, one of their great attributes back in the day was the steel curtain, right? That defense, that nasty defense that they had. But of course, it was led by the steel curtain, which Joe Green, or Mean Joe Green, was a part of. Now, this is his Mitchell Ness jersey, 1975. Again, technically 76, as it's a Super Bowl jersey with the patch. They only wore that patch in the Super Bowl. Both them and Dallas. Dallas wore it on their sleeve, Mitchell Ness never made a Dallas one to this point, but they did all the Steeler ones. And the only one I don't have for the Steelers that Mitchell Ness has made is Mike Webster, Rocky Blyer, and I want to say they made a Jack Ham too. And I think that was more recent time, but I never did get one of those. Obviously, the Lambert and Ham would be long sleeve because they were linebackers and they wore long sleeves like when they played. Like Joe Green and them all had the short sleeves. But Ham and Lambert, they had those long sleeves, so they correctly made those jerseys. I have a white Lambert back in the other rack. And I got the black Swan, the black Bradshaw, although I do want the new one with the separated name on words on the back for his name. Mine's the old run of it. I got Joe Green, as you see. I have a Franco. I know I'm missing someone. I got Green, I got Franco, I got Bradshaw, I got Swan, and I got Lambert. Now that's for the 70s. Then of course I have Jerome Bettis and I have Rod Woodson of more of the newer, variety. But from the 70s, those are the jerseys I have, sans what I just showed. Of course, the white Stallworth and the black Rocky Blyer. So these I've added to the collection. And again, they're not Mitchell Ness quality, but you're not paying for that. I mean, these are cheaper than the Mitchell Ness Legacy line. I mean, much cheaper. Like I said, 30 some bucks. And some of these weren't in my size. Like when I saw these originally some time ago, they didn't have my size. I even wrote them and said, hey, you're going to get any more of 2X's in? And they said they're not sure of when they're going to get them, but they will. And I just happened across, the eBay listing, and it's a store. And I noticed that they started to have some of these in my size, but they were running out. Like it had all the sizes, and when you click on one, it shows you how much are left. And I'm sure they'll get them again at some point, but they were really running low. And I noticed that there was like a discount too if you bought however many. They also give you a shipping discount if you buy multiple jerseys. So I'm like, okay, now's my chance. Let me do it. Plus, there's the paying for. So, so let me show you these jerseys. This is a unboxing. Just came in the mail today. So what I always wanted to do, what I always thought would be kind of cool, and I knew Mitchell Ness didn't make them all. I always wanted to get the steel curtain in the collection, like the steel curtain. So I had green for many years, the Mitchell Ness version. The other players, the best of my knowledge, unless they're salesman sample or very limited run that I never saw, doesn't mean they're not out there. They could be. But Mean Joe's the only one of the steel curtain, players that they actually ever made. So I have the Mean Joe, but I wanted to get the other three, right? I wanted the steel curtain in the Mighty Kingdom. So this eBay seller, again, I mean, they make these jerseys for autographs. They're not, like I just showed you, they're not like, you're not going to get Mitchell Ness. You're not going to get, right? But they're decent jerseys. And they have a large variety of players. Now, some of them because they're all generically stitched and everything, if a team had heat press numbers, I'd rather that, But the Steelers obviously have always had single stitch numbers. So I kind of see it as, I can deal with it, So here we are. And here are the others. Just like the Franco. So, I'm sorry, just like the Rocky Blyer. So here is, let's get this on a hanger. Number 63, Ernie Holmes, a.k.a. the Arrow Man. He was known as that because he shaved his hair like an arrow. If you see him without the helmet, he's got like an arrow. Almost like Mr. T's mohawk, but it's an arrow. So that's why he was nicknamed the Arrow Man. So here's his jersey. Number 63, Holmes on the back. Holmes is on a nameplate, single stitched. The nameplate is stitched on too. And the 63s, everything's very generically single stitched. But they're stitched, right? And again, you got that fabric for the Steelers stripes on the sleeves. No jock tags on these jerseys. They're not supposed to have them. Again, mainly it's just for autographs or people to put frame up and whatever. It just has like a little size tag on the inside. So there's Ernie Holmes. And I guess I'll just start putting them behind me. This is kind of a cool one because it's a player from the Steel Curtain, but it also has my birth year, 1978. Oh my. All right. Number 78, Dwight White. Another member of the Steel Curtain, 70s Steelers, Super 70s Steelers into the 80s. And last but not least, rounding out the Steel Curtain, yeah, once I get this on the hanger, we have number 68, L.C. Greenwood, the last member of the Steel Curtain. Same deal as all the others. Fabric for the stripes. Everything else is single stitch generically. Greenwood on a nameplate. And there you go. Again, no great bells and whistles with these. It's not supposed to be. But for me, it finishes off a set of which I don't know if I'd be able to finish unless I got a bunch of other Steeler Mitchell Ness jerseys and had them sent off to have customed into these players, which would cost a little more money, right? So I saw an opportunity to complete the Steel Curtain, and I was able to do so. Again, we got L.C. Greenwood. We got Ernie Holmes, a.k.a. the Arrow Man. We got Mean Joe Green's Mitchell Ness jersey. And at the end there, we got Dwight White, number 78. The Steel Curtain has been completed. There you go. I know Raider fans aren't very happy. I'm sorry to Raider fans, but it is what it is. This was a personal thing I wanted to do. I wanted to complete the Steel Curtain, and I was able to do so recently. So anyhow, you know, I think for what they are, they're pretty decent. For the price you're paying, I mean, I think they were all like $35, and I got a little discount because I got multiple, and also with the shipping, I got a little discount. So all told, I mean, I paid less for these three jerseys than I would have one Mitchell and Ness Legacy Line jersey. So, and now I have the whole set. So I'm happy, and that's all that really matters to me. Anyhow, I got to run. I got to go get the flu shot right now. So I will see you on the next one. You all take care. Go Birds, even though this is a very Steelers-centric video. I understand that. So to my Western PA viewers, that I hope you're happy. So let's go Birds tonight against Tampa, and the Phillies' magic number is now down to 1 for everything, right? For a playoff berth and also for the #1 spot in the wild card, because the Diamondbacks lost today to the Yankees. So I could be at the clincher tomorrow night. I'm real excited about that. All right, everyone, you all take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I have a terrible towel somewhere. I don't know where it is, but all right, we're going to move on.